Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. So, I want to show you this story. This broke yesterday. I was looking at it last night, and then I was just too tired. And I don't know. This is probably not as big of a deal as it first looks, but it's definitely odd. About the spa founder. Li Yang is her name. She also goes by Cindy Yang. And the Miami Herald did this massive long story on her and her businesses. She's a self-made entrepreneur is how I'll read how they characterize her. Li Yang, 45, a self-made entrepreneur from China who started a chain of Asian day spas in South Florida. Over the years, these establishments, many of which operate under the name Tokyo Day Spas, have gained a reputation for offering sexual services. One of the day spas, she has sold several of these. I don't know how many she still owns or her family still owns. I really don't know, if any. But one of the day spas she started was the one which she sold in 2013 was the one that became the Orchids of Asia day spa that Robert Kraft has been accused and charged of soliciting prostitution. And according to the prosecutor, I don't know where that is, if that's West Palm Beach County or Palm Beach County, or it's Jupiter, or if I'm not sure. Jupiter could be inside. I think it is. Jupiter's a town inside Palm Beach County or West Palm Beach County. Where the prosecutor claims, they have surveillance footage of him soliciting, paying for, and receiving oral sex, from a masseuse at the Orchids of Asia Day Spa. Again, she founded that and sold that in 2013, and there's several others. And throughout this, and there's. For some reason, one of the things that struck me the most in this Miami Herald article is the fact that, for some reason she got religion in the last 2 years in terms of political religion. She wasn't political at all. In fact, it even says there's no voting records of her voting for the last 10 years, and yet she's pictured with many prominent Republican, politicians and high-profile Republican personalities, starting with the president, and this is in the last year or so. Starting in like 2016, she got involved in politics. So, and that's a picture at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, resort, watching the Super Bowl party, cheering on the Patriots, winning against the Rams. 2 weeks later, Robert Kraft would be. According to prosecutors, visited the Orchids of Asia Day Spa, which she previously owned and sold back in 2013. The writers of this article reached out to her for comment. She didn't comment at length at all. I'll try to just touch on some of it, but it's so long. It just goes on and on. And because they really dug through a lot. Very quickly, that's her at the White House. I don't know exactly. That's March 22nd, 2018. She's a member of the National Committee of Asian Republicans in Palm Beach, the Palm Beach chapter. And this was an event here, which actually had a picture of her here, pictured with the Boca Raton mayor. They pulled that down. Her and all these pictures that are in this article are taken from her Facebook page. I'm nearly certain, which has been taken down as well. This is her Facebook page, which is no longer up. So, and this was Hillary in Broward County, which is actually it's at Coconut Creek, Florida. Which is right around the corner from where that mayor is, Boca Raton. If you follow my channel, my belief is, I came up with this theory, and I believe it, that Trump and Hillary conspired to fix the 2016 election, and that she lost it on purpose, that she intentionally pulled her punches in critical states, I don't know why, and lost it on purpose. I just have this belief that among many other things, you can go back. I've got a series on it, a playlist, documenting how I came to this conclusion. And it's just one thing after another that obviously I'm not going to present here. But the fact is it's just almost impossible for her to have lost unless she wanted to. Just because of the demographics of things, because of the nature of Trump, because he elicits so many people have such strong feelings against him, and obviously lots of people have strong feelings for him. But and Florida plays critical into that. I'm not going to get into the minutiae of the numbers. And the numbers actually, he did, in my opinion, he did well in Florida, extremely well, like almost so good that it's hard to understand how he found basically 700,000 or 800,000 votes. 700,000 or 800,000 votes where 4.6 million people voted for the Republican candidate. That's almost impossible. And did this have something to do with it? Probably not. Broward County, did that have something to do with it? And Hillary Clinton have something to do with it? Maybe. That I would. All right. So I don't know. I'm not here to present that right now. I just want to talk about this story, which is, I'm telling you, this is. You got a woman who seemingly never voted for 10 years, miraculously gets into politics, starting about 2 years ago, just prior to Trump running for president. She briefly, I think, donated a little bit of money to the Jeb Bush campaign before he fell. And then put her full weight behind him. She started a woman's charity or something like that, in which she may still exist today. It had an event that was not very successful at all, and I think it's just odd that a woman who created many day spas, which have, like, according to this article, have been many of which operate under the name Tokyo Day Spa, have gained a reputation of offering sexual service. A woman who started day spas that have a reputation for offering sexual services never is involved in politics, and all of a sudden in 2016 she's being pictured with very high profile Republican politicians in Florida and making appearances in the White House and being pictured with the president in multiple circumstances. And it's odd, dude. So let me continue. This says Cindy Yang poses with President Donald Trump at a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago on March 2nd, 2018. That very well may be. Over at the Daily Mail, it says it's the White House, but I just don't know. So, but like I was saying, there's many pictures here of her with Ron DeSantis. Here's one, at Mar-a-Lago as well. It's at a pro-Israel gala, February 25th, 2018. There she is all the way on the left. There's Ron DeSantis in the middle. That's before he was governor. There's this Tokyo Nail Spa. That's actually her first spa that she ever opened, and that I believe her husband still runs. This is his Facebook page. That's mentioned in this article. The first to open was her flagship, which is still in business and run by her husband, Zubin Gong, in Palm Beach Gardens. The next was a Tokyo Day Spa in Jupiter that would later become Orchids of Asia Day Spa after Yang sold it to another businesswoman, Hua Zhang, around 2013. Zhang, who was charged in February with racketeering and running a house of prostitution, has pleaded not guilty, declined to comment when contacted at her Martin County home. Yang has shown considerable political largesse. Since 2017, she and her close relatives have contributed more than $42,000 to Trump Victory, a political action committee, and more than $16,000 to the president's campaign. In February 2018, Yang was invited by the White House to participate in an event hosted by the Asian American and Pacific Islander Initiative, an advisory commission Trump established by executive order the year before. Later in the year, she attended at least 2 more AAPI events in Washington, D.C., according to her Facebook page. I believe she's moving to D.C. It says that right here. In a brief phone interview, Yang said she and her family never broke the law, but did not answer questions about whether she knew of the allegations that therapists in her spas were offering sex. She added that she was out of the business, would soon be moving to Washington, D.C., and didn't want any negative press. Before the 2016 general election, Yang offered no evidence of political engagement. She hadn't voted in 10 years, records show, but she has now become a fixture of Republican political events up and down the East Coast. Her Facebook page is covered with photos of herself standing with President Trump, his two sons, Eric and Donald Jr., Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Rick Scott, Sarah Palin, the president's campaign manager, and an assortment of other high-level Republican operators. She met at charity events, political fundraisers, and galas, many of which require hefty donations to attend. She sometimes carries a rhinestone-encrusted MAGA clutch purse. And then it goes into her previous spas. So the online reviews. This is talking about, the next was the Tokyo Day Spa, the one that was sold and became Orchids of Day Spa. Online reviews from prior to 2013, before she sold it, suggest sex was for sale at the Tokyo Day Spa Jupiter location even before it became Orchids of Asia. Although the name and ownership of the location have changed, the decor has not. A photo from the Tokyo Day Spa Yelp review shows the same couch, the same wall hanging, and the same... What is that? Fox? Fake? Fox. I don't know how to pronounce that. Plant as now. Used to be known as Tokyo Day Spa and Massage. Most of the same girls still work there. A Yelp reviewer wrote of Orchids of Asia in 2013. Over the past decade, Yang and her family members have opened at least 6 locations across Palm Beach and Broward counties, including a massage school in 2011 and several nail salons. In at least 3 cases, online classifieds written in Chinese indicate Yang opened the spas, then flipped them, advertising sale prices ranging from $55,000 to $88,000. Yang also owns several residential properties around South Florida. Sex for sale. When a female massage therapist started finding condoms in the trash at one of Yang's Tokyo Day Spas, she became concerned that the parlor was not what it seemed. The woman, who spoke only Mandarin, asked an English-speaking relative to call the police after she heard the sounds of sex coming from several private massage rooms. Her tip led a police vice squad to begin surveilling the parlor from a van parked outside. The woman told the Miami Herald in an interview. Cops hidden in the vehicle took photographs of people coming and going. The woman said she went undercover, snapping pictures of receipts when no one was looking. After the trash was taken outside, she would call her relative, who would then ring up the cops. There should be some condoms out back, the relative would report. The woman, who asked to remain anonymous for fear of a retaliation, slept on a massage bed in a back room during her time at the spa. She cooked on a hot plate. There she's pictured with Sarah Palin. On one occasion, the former therapist was giving a customer a massage when he exposed himself and demanded oral sex. She said she ran from the room crying. A manager was angry that the customer had been treated badly. You cannot hurt the customer's feelings, the manager later said. No charges appear to have been brought as a result of the investigation. Herald reviewed documents related to the case, but it is not naming the police department in order to preserve the woman's anonymity. 6 spas within the Tokyo Day Spas chain show up on online forums like rubmaps.com, adultsearch.com, which are crowd-sourced review sites where users point each other to spas where sex is offered. I mean, these are all, this is, I don't know what you would characterize the evidence as, but whether that's circumstantial or whatever, but, that's a lot of what this is based on. There's no criminal charges against this woman and so forth, but it's definitely odd. Around 3 years ago, Yang announced that she was pursuing a new life in a series of Facebook posts. Her portfolio broadened to include investments in investment consulting business, a travel agency, and a charity. The charity, founded in 2015 under the name Overseas International Female Organization, was originally intended to promote cultural exchange for women, according to its mission statement. A few months later, the name was changed to Women's Charity Foundation. The foundation once hosted a beauty pageant at the luxury Biltmore Hotel featuring young women brought in by entertainment companies, according to one of the event's co-sponsors, Lee Yoon, who told the Miami Herald the event was embarrassing, unsuccessful, and disorganized. The nonprofit doesn't appear in a database of active Florida charities. At the very end of 2015, Yang began donating small amounts of money to Jeb Bush's presidential campaign. In 2016, Yang posted Facebook photos from a Republican women's event in South Florida with the caption, "The new life will start." There she is, pictured with Matt Gaetz, the congressman from Florida. Around that time, she appeared to have pulled her name from the official business records related to Tokyo Day Spas, though her husband still manages at least one of the spas, and the other companies are now under her parents' name. Recently, one of her businesses, now listed in her mother's name, declared bankruptcy, listing more than $150,000 worth of debt. When Donald Trump became a serious candidate for president, politics began to dominate her social media presence. In January 2017, she was in a crowd at Trump's inauguration in Washington, D.C. Later that year, she snapped a photo with Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway. In December, she attended her first elite event at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago poolside steak lunch. Yang was in 2018, September. Yang received a personalized note from the president and his first lady. It read, "Thank you for your friendship and dedication to our cause." Yang told the Miami Herald she doesn't know the president personally and that she doesn't work for him other than to volunteer for campaign events. I just come to some events. There's nothing special, Yang said. Yang opened an investment consulting firm in 2017 targeting Chinese businesses, hoping to expand to U.S. markets. Over the past 2 years, Yang has ranked up a who's who of photos with politicians at more than a dozen political events. There she is with Eric Trump in 2018. She attended a safari night at Mar-a-Lago hosted by the president's sister, Elizabeth Trump Grau, as well as the White House's celebration of the Lunar New Year. I mean, it just goes on and on. So we don't need to go through every single thing. I'm just, like I said, is this a huge deal? I don't know. Probably not. But it's odd. It's definitely odd. And for somebody who, a woman who's connected, was the founder of the day spa that was later sold and is wrapped up in a sex trafficking ring investigation, the same spa where Robert Kraft is being accused of soliciting prostitution, and never was into politics, seemingly into politics, but only never. It doesn't even have records of voting for the last 10 years. But 2 years ago, seemed to get very involved in politics with Trump's campaign, and is pictured with many Republican politicians. I mean, it's pretty weird. Very quickly, this is Mar-a-Lago. This is a Super Bowl party, cheering on the Patriots. And then 2 weeks later, the Orchids Day Spa charge. There's Don Jr., Eric Trump. Again, I'm not sure if that's the White House or what. This is a signed thank you letter from Melania and Trump. I'm sure they send out thousands of these. That's probably not a big deal. John Voight. Laura Trump. That's, I don't know what that is. She owns 3 homes in neighboring counties in Florida and is still in the registered cosmetologist. Yang above at the White House. That's at the White House. So, Don King, Rick Scott, Sarah Palin, Kellyanne Conway, Sebastian Gorka, Brad Pascal, his online guy, online campaign advisor, technical guy, Diamond and Silk, Janine Pirro, Elaine Chao, and that's the story there. All right, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I will see you in the next video. Later, man.